Single black tenant on Lifetime, starring Tia Mowry. The biggest thing in the movie was supposed to be the landlord looked like the tenant, and the tenant was Tia, but they didn't look alike. So the whole movie, I was just so confused because I'm like, are they supposed to look alike or not? Because they don't. So I was just so confused. When I did Single Black Female, when they remade it, I'm like, at least that was closer, to looking alike. Then, the original, she switched her look to look like her. But this was like, she didn't look like her at all. Like, I don't understand. Neither one of them look alike. I don't know if they just casted whoever, but when a movie like this, when that matters, when the person looking like the person that matters, it was probably other tenants that look more like the landlord than Tia. I don't understand. Maybe they should have got Esset Atkins as the landlord if they wanted them to look alike, or someone else. I don't understand why they did that. And then two, they was like, her being an actual twin, they should have got Tamara. Her being an actual twin is like, maybe they thought that was like a cool thing. Like, oh, she's an actual twin, so we're making this like, oh, they're twins. Like, oh, they look alike. It should have been uncanny. When we saw them, it should have been like, oh, wow. I just was confused the whole movie. They kept saying it, but I was still confused. I'm like, is she supposed to look like the Barbie, or is she supposed to look like the current landlord? I was really confused. Then we seen the pictures of Barbie. I was like, she don't look like Barbie either. I'm like, no one looked alike. So I was just so confused. They might have had Tia friend say she looked like her too. Because it was just, what is going on? That was supposed to be the biggest thing in the movie, but it wasn't even accurate. So it really threw me off. It was very strange. I don't know, like I said, how they did the casting. Did they just cast everybody at one time? Like I said, you cannot do that when it's a movie like this. And then it's like, I didn't look at the creator, so I don't know if it was a white creator, but they saying all black people. It's like, I don't know, but it was very strange to me. Very, very weird. The landlord, and I can't remember the name, so I'm just gonna say the landlord. I don't know the person's name. I remember it's Barbie because they said it so much, but her name was Barbara. But they called her Barbie, whatever. That's the only person's name I remember in the whole movie. The friend, Tia's friend in the movie, when she came to the house, because she said she was having a housewarming, she came to the house and the girl was telling her something that Tia said that wasn't true, or she embellished it a lot. It made it sound worse. And then she was telling Tia, when the girl went to the bathroom, telling Tia that the girl was pretty much saying stuff that she wasn't and talking about her, whatever. And they both so easily believed it. I'm like, I really cannot stand people like that. People with those personality types are people that are just easily believe what somebody says about the person that they know. Like, do you just want to believe this about this person, or do you truly feel this about this person, or are you just a weak-minded person? Like, either one of those instances, I don't fool with. It's like, you are so easy in believing this thing. This person you don't know, but you're believing anything they say about the person that you know. And even if it was like an opinion, like sometimes people give an opinion on somebody, like say I know somebody, and then somebody will give an opinion about that person, but they don't know the person. They met the person for 30 minutes. Like, you don't know this person, so you cannot give me an opinion on this person that you've known for 30 minutes. And people can't be like, oh, it's discernment. People with discernment is horrible. People love to act like, oh, it's just something about this person, but they're wrong 90% of the time. People do not be knowing what they be talking about, and that be irritating me. So the fact that people like that really irritate me. They're just so easy to be believing what somebody say about somebody, and they barely even know the person that's saying it. That is very strange too. Tia found the blood and thought, it was like human blood. Did she seen the blood on the couch and all of that? But she could have took the blood out and took it to the police station. Then they could have ran the DNA and see if it really was Barbie blood, or the couch or all that. She took pictures of it, but they was like, oh, it could have been anything. So it's like they didn't even try to clean it up. Yeah, they didn't even try to clean it up, and clearly they had got away with it. The couple had got away with it for a whole year. No, for a couple months. And nobody was looking into it. They said she lied and said it was a year, but it was actually a couple months since the Barbie they had unalive Barbie. She had shot Barbie. But Tia had touched the gun, and the girl was like, don't put your fingerprints on it. But she wiped it off, so I don't know why Tia was concerned, because the girl wiped it off. Maybe she didn't think it was wiped off. I don't know. She could have took the blood to the bag for the blood that was in the refrigerator. She could have took that to the police station. She even took one of the couch pillows to the police station. She didn't, but she could have. I just didn't understand. It just didn't make any sense. They were already getting away with it. So I don't understand, why did they need somebody that looked like her to frame the person? And like I said, Tia stayed in that motel, extended stay, whatever it was. So it would be record of her staying there, because she has to pay. You have to pay weekly or daily or monthly, I don't know. But you have to pay. So obviously it would have been record of her staying there. So I was completely confused how they was like, oh yeah, she was staying here for a year. Even if she signed a lease and they said that year, that anybody can say a different date to when you signed. Most people don't even be paying attention. They were trying to talk to her and she wasn't really paying attention, just decided. But that's stupid. It wasn't like she was, I don't know, living in her car. Nobody can prove. If she was living in her car or something, then yeah, it'd be like, it wouldn't be no record of what was going on. But she was staying somewhere where she had to pay, so they would have knew she'd been saying it. So that was stupid. And like I said, the couple was getting away with it already. No one was looking for the girl. No one was even worried about the girl. So I don't know why she made a big plan to do all this, because she didn't make the plan. No one would have even knew or worried about it. Even when Tia went to the cops, they was acting like she was crazy. So I understand what was the point of it. And then they were saying that the guy landlord was with Barbie first, and then he ended up getting with the girl, the crazy girl. So it's like, but then the other tenant that Tia called, that she went to the place that she was working at, the washer or whatever, she went to that place and talked to her, and she was like, she heard them arguing. She said, get out of there and run pretty much fast as you can. When Tia called her, Barbara was upstairs, they were downstairs, and then Tia, so all of them was downstairs, and then Barbie was upstairs. And then when he went from being upstairs with Barbie did, and when he got with the other girl, he ended up being downstairs. And the fact that it was all still staying there, but I guess when you signed a lease, whatever. Then she just went upstairs and shot Barbie. Like, it wasn't like they would start fighting. It didn't. She shot her. It's just like she went upstairs just to shoot her. I don't know if she was manic or what was going on with that, but she was asking the friend, like, why you didn't let me stay with you? Because the friend had 3 kids. I don't know the ages, but I mean, they still could have made it work. Okay, Tia stayed in a motel, like I said, extended stay, she stayed somewhere. But whoever was next door to her was loud and stuff. But I don't understand why she couldn't just simply switch rooms. But stuff like that, extended stay and stuff like that, it's not a lease, so you can just switch the rooms. So I don't understand why she just didn't switch her room. And then she was always looking for a place to rent. Maybe she couldn't do an apartment, but she was always looking like for a house, a room to rent. And then at the end, when they showed her at the place, I'm like, she said she was going to be staying by herself, 1 bedroom or something. So that house was a 1 bedroom and nobody else was there. And it's just her renting. I don't know, but it was just too many, like I said, stuff that it makes sense. And then the biggest thing in the movie didn't make sense. So everything kind of was, when you was watching, it was kind of like, what am I watching? Because I don't understand. Because what y'all said isn't factual, so I don't even understand. Then it was like, oh, we're twins. And then they looked in the mirror. I'm like, yeah, I don't look alike. What? I don't understand. What's happening? I cannot. And then the other girl that used to say to her that was working at the washateria, she was like, she called in saying Barbie was missing because she heard them arguing. But she said she heard them arguing, but maybe they was arguing one day and then the next day is when she shot her, because it couldn't have been the same day, because she would have heard the gunshots. Yeah, she would have heard the gunshots. So maybe I'm just gonna give them bail and say it was days apart, but because she definitely would have heard the gunshots because it was loud. It wasn't like it was a cyclist on it or something. But so she called and said, hey, yeah, I haven't seen this person in a week, missing person report. And she must then say, oh, they was arguing. She must then just, all she had to say was the person was missing. She must then say, hey, it was the 2 people I'm staying with, they were arguing and I haven't seen the other person in a week. She mustn't say any of that. And then all the girl did was threaten her, but all she had to do was say, this lady threatened me for making the police report. Then they just let her recant and say, oh yeah, it was a misunderstanding. So y'all wasn't even looking into it. They don't ever be looking for missing people. Like, the person is most likely they'll show up. Fayla said that. Most likely they end up popping up. Every time you watch a show or a movie, that's what they say. And I'm sure they say that in real life. Yeah, 9 out of 10 times they'll pop up. Okay, what about the other one? 7 out of 10 times they pop up. Okay, what about the other 3 that they don't? Like, what did you talk about? But Yeah, that was weird to me too. That didn't even make sense. That why she was a part of a cartel or something. Ooh, I'm so scared for my family. She's gonna do something to me. She's one person. And if you tell the cops, maybe, or they will, maybe they want to do something about it. Like, hey, this lady threatened me. She threatened me and said, and then they would investigate. You would think, like you heard some argument. She not there no more. She told you, hey, you better recant what you said. And I don't even know how she found out about that too. Maybe she had cameras in her, and maybe she she was in the house or something. I don't know. And then too, if you're doing crime, why would you have a camera in there? I mean, at least go in and take the camera out. Why you then kept keeping the evidence? And then she made it seem like, yeah, I knew. I went to the bathroom and I knew he was gonna watch the video. Why would she need to see the video? It wasn't no point for her to see the video. It was literally no point to the story for her to see that video. So I don't understand why she wanted her to see the video. And then she was just over. Her at the end was so funny. No, and they did this, and they did this, and they. He was like, yeah, I hit the body, but she the one did it, child. And they got the video evidence of it. So that would be easily proven. So obviously he gonna take a plea deal, and he don't get not as much time as her.